my brother.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today we're going to be talking about which extreme finishes hurt the most. Because you loved part 1 so much, well, we figured we'd do a part 2. So ladies and gentlemen, let me break this down to you one more time. So the S tier is the highest you can go, like, oh, that freaking killed me, that hurt. And of course, in between S, A, B, and of course, the least is C. What happened to be, didn't really do anything to me. I was able to get up and walk the next day. And you know something, guys? I'll be honest with you. And Jeff, screw you. That S tier is for Swanton. I made it personally. I'm just letting you know that. Because, I mean, every time you hit me with that Swanton, I feel like I was going to crap on myself. But no, we joke around all the time. So please, don't take this personal. And please, most importantly, don't think we're at odds with each other. The only time we're going to be odds at each other is come October 12th at Bound for Glory. But until then, we'll keep it neutral. We'll keep it happy. We'll keep it safe. Let's get started with the first one. And that's going to be the RKO. Now, I will say this. I've taken the RKO maybe once or twice. And I will say, Randy is smooth. Randy is truly the apex predator, especially when it comes to being in that ring. But when it comes to the RKO, nothing like it. It's like kind of like 3D. You know, you hit 3D, bam, it's over. You get hit with the RKO, boom, done, finished. The RKO is kind of like something that Bubba and myself do, where 3D, it's just another version of it. If you think about it, the RKO version is Randy doing it by himself. And of course, 3D is both Bubba and myself doing the same moves. And it all originated from Dallas Diamond Page, DDP. So my hat goes off to Dallas for even doing that, because without Dallas, who's to say that we would have came up with the RKO or even the 3D? So thank you, Dallas. I got to admit, a great move that has been copied and done, but nothing's better than the originator. So I'm going to rate the RKO. Let me think about this. Give me a second. I'm going to have to say the RKO is a B. And I'm sure you'll have your own opinion on it. It's a great move. Randy has solidified that as being a finisher, and he has solidified it as being one of the top finishers in the WWE. But me being extreme ECW, I'm looking at what's going to hurt the most. What's going to put you out of action? The RKO might put you to sleep just enough to get the 1, 2, 3. So again, I'm going to have to rate that a B. I love Randy and I love the move, but it's got to be something, in my opinion, to get an S. Has to be where it's going to knock you the hell out. Good night. Don't even get it back up. Shawn Michaels, Sweet Chin Music. Now, let me just say this. We've seen Shawn Michaels do this time and time again. Hell, he's won so many matches with it. Became world's champion. Has done everything there is to do with the Sweet Chin Music. So many people have copied the Sweet Chin Music because of Shawn Michaels. Very impactful move. A move that could knock you out, because again, think about it. If you get hit on the chin the right way, you're not getting up. You're falling out. But I will say this. If Shawn wanted to lay it in, he would lay it in. And if he laid it in, it's definitely good night, Irene. No question about that. You're not getting up. With that being said, Sweet Chin Music can be a move that you don't want to take and you don't want to get hit by. Because if Shawn didn't like you, or if Shawn made a mistake and accidentally shift that foot to the right or even a little bit more to the left and nailed you on the chin, it's lights out. It's over. Have I gotten hit with Sweet Chin Music before? Absolutely. Has it been from Shawn Michaels? No. And that's probably why I was able to get back up. If it was from Shawn Michaels, D-Von would have been talking about being defeated by the greatest entertainer at WrestleMania, but I didn't. There have been guys that have tried to do what Shawn Michaels has done, and if you're in the WWE and somebody wants to hit you with a super kick, and they miss you by a mile away, your behind's going to be pulled to the side and asked the question, how come that super kick missed a mile away? So you want to make sure that you at least let it touch your face. And if it does, chances are the guy that's delivering the kick doesn't know his own strength or doesn't know how to pull back. So you're taking a chance every time you do that. And I got to say, just about every time somebody did a super kick, I got nailed with. But then again, my dumb ass decided to walk right into it. So there you go. You figured I should have had face surgery as opposed to back surgery after that. But needless to say, I'm still a pretty damn handsome, good-looking man. So therefore, I'm going to say sweet chin music is no joke. But at the same token, be very careful. Anybody who gets hit on the chin one good time, it's over. As far as what tier I would like to put that on, I'm going to say the sweet chin music, especially if it's hit by Shawn Michaels, I'm going to give it an A tier. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so the next finisher we're going to be talking about is the 619, delivered by the one and only Rey Mysterio Jr. So you know something, guys? I faced Rey numerous times in WWE, and I've got to say, each time I was in the ring with him, it was like being in there with a professional. He doesn't even touch you, light as can be. But the one that got me the most, because I've seen some of the 619s given to people, it looked like Rey just would come in and take his legs and wrap them around your face. It was only until I got in the ring with Rey and actually took the 619, I realized that Rey was a true professional even in that way and took care of a person. So I really didn't feel it, nor did it bother me. Because it was so smooth and it came from Rey Mysterio, I'm going to have to put this particular finisher, what tier would that be? I'm going to have to say the C tier. Not because it doesn't do anything for you, but it was one of the smoothest things that I have taken. And on top of that, sometimes I didn't even realize it until Rey got through and hit it and he was on his feet. I realized, oh shit, I got a bump. I mean, that's how good Rey was. So again, I put him in the C tier, not because it was the worst finisher ever or I didn't think that it was legit or what have you. It was just that Rey was so smooth that half of the time you didn't even know that he hit you. And again, like I said earlier, when I rate my tiers, I'm rating it from an extreme point. What's the one that I think that everybody could be scared of taking, or there's some type of fear running through your body, even thinking, knowing that you're going to take it? That's how I rate it with my tiers. So therefore, again, I'm going to have to give the 619 a C tier. And the next finisher will be the Codebreaker, delivered by none other than Chris Jericho. I got to say, this particular move, the Codebreaker, can be a little on the scary side, maybe. Some might beg to differ with me. What's so scary about it, D-Von? Hell, you're watching him. Yes, I agree, you're watching him, but think about it. Your face is coming down into his knees. If he goes a little bit before me, or if I go a little early, possibly my face could be rearranged in a sense. But at the same token, it can be one of the most easiest ones that you can take. And it's also the way that the person who's taking it, the way he reacts to it, how he sells it. It's the ones that you think that aren't going to hurt you bad. Those are the ones that get you, because you're not putting any effort into protecting yourself, really. Guys like Chris Jericho and, like I said earlier, Rey Mysterio, true professionals. This is why I put my life on the line with these guys, because I know they'll take care of me just as much as I would take care of them. So how I'm going to rate this particular finish, just because of some of the fear that might go into people, and some people might go, some of the boys might go, there ain't no fear, just kind of crouch down and go. But again, if the timing's off, anything can happen. So I will rate that particular move a B tier. So our next move coming up will be the one that everybody knows, the one that everybody's tried when they were kids, the figure four. The question was asked to me, had I ever been in a ring with Ric Flair? And if I was, did Ric Flair put the figure 4 on me? Well, absolutely he did. You don't think you're going to be able to get in the ring with Ric Flair, especially 15, 20 minutes, and the figure 4 is not going to be put on you. Of course it was. When I was in there with Ric Flair, easy. It's the Nature Boy. It's Ric Flair. But here's the difference. Let your friends try to put the figure 4 on you, and you're screaming for dear life for real. Therefore, I'm going to rate the figure 4, if it's given by Flair, a C. But if it's given by your friends, an S tier. I'm going to take both of those. So I'm going to use both. I've never done that before, but I'm going to use both. So again, if it's given to you by your friends or someone that doesn't know what they're doing, definitely an S tier. But if it's given by somebody like Ric Flair, a C tier. I don't think that's ever been done before. So there you have it. So our next finishing move will be the Sharpshooter. Although originated by Bret the Hitman Hart, I've never been in a ring with Bret. Wish I did have the opportunity to be in there with him. Being put in the Sharpshooter, to me, was no joke for me, and I'll tell you why. I had bad knees. I had arthritis in my knees, and the wear and tear of all the years, really took a toll on my knees, just like everybody in the WWE or just pro wrestling, period. So whenever the knees would bend, I would feel it. It would hurt. So when The Rock put the Sharpshooter on me in a match, I remember almost tapping out because of the fact that it hurt so bad. It's one of those things where even though, that hurt, the Sharpshooter hurt real bad, even when The Rock put it on, that's just for me because of my knees and how much pain I was in during that time. So what tier would I give that? I'm going to have to say a B tier. I mean, again, it's one of those things where even when it was put on me, it hurt like a bastard. But again, at the time, I had injuries in my knees, so it hurt. And I wasn't trying to stay in it any longer than I had to. It's one of those things where you just have to get through the pain until somebody comes in and makes the save. And Bubba was always late. And that's why I'm going to give the Sharpshooter a B. I got to say, this one is a little difficult to get an S tier for me. It would have to visually and physically be in that top category for me to say S tier. So our next finisher that we're going to take, I wouldn't really call it a finisher, but I would call it was something that was used in this guy's repertoire very frequently in the ring, the Stinkface. Now, unfortunately, as Reverend D-Von, when I'm out there trying to save souls and get people to put in a donation box just so I can continue my work as saving souls for the prophet Vince McMahon, I have a 300 plus pound Samoan not only beating me up, dragging me in the corner and wanting to put his big ass in my face. Why? What did I ever do to that man to deserve that? Because I had a deacon on the outside and Dave Bautista collecting the money from the masses of people that came down, remind you. Never forced them. They came down and delivered those dollar bills in my collection plate. So it wasn't like Reverend D-Von was doing anything wrong, but Rikishi took it upon himself to put his hands on me. And on top of that, put his damn nasty big ass in my face. People want to ask me how that felt. It felt disgusting. And to this day, I hold a grudge against Rikishi. And every time I see him, I tell him that. Why the hell you put your ass in my face? I am a reverend. I am a man of the cloth. What have I ever done wrong? Picture that. Him putting that ass in my face and me having to smell that. You think that's nice? No. Which is why we took it out on the Usos when we came back to WWE. I'm getting a little beside myself because we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about finishers that I've taken or finishers that I know. And this finisher right here, which again, isn't so much a finisher, but it's something that was foul, disgusting. It's probably bigger than any move that I've ever taken, even worse than the Swanton dive from Jeff Hardy. So if I'm saying that, then you know the Stinkface had to be bad. And Rikishi, damn you. Damn you. And you know I'm damning you because of what you did. How bad could that have been for you to have done that to me? You didn't see me dropping my ass, taking my underwear, sticking it up my ass, and then giving you a stink face. The hell is wrong with you, man? I've waited all these years to let this out and to tell you how I felt. And this is how I feel. Love you like a brother, but man, I hate it for what you did to me. I still can't believe to this day that the WWE allowed that. And Mr. McMahon being my benefactor, he should have fired your ass on the spot. But he didn't. So again, what am I going to rate this stink face? The S tier, because it's foul, disgusting, and should have never been done on Reverend D-Von. So our next move we're going to talk about is the mist. The green mist, the red mist, whatever this person felt like making it. And that person I speak of is the buzzsaw himself, Tajiri. Whatever mist that Tajiri wanted to do, it blinded you. It really did. This is something that could be used as a finish, but there were times where Tajiri would miss and hit the referee or hit his partner. Or hit my partner, which, I'll be honest with you, I kind of liked it when he hit it Bubba with it. I liked it so much because of the fact that when you got back to the locker room and you went to go wash your face, it was hard to get that green mist or red mist or whatever off your skin. It really was. To this day, I don't know what it was. And to Jerry, anytime I asked him, he would laugh and be like, okay, D-Von. No, he wouldn't tell me. So I'm going to rate this particular mist in a C tier. It's one of those things where you don't see it coming, and when you do, it's like a surprise. So again, I'll give this one a C tier. My next finisher that I'm going to be talking about is the dead man himself, the Undertaker, The Last Ride. I want you to think about this. He puts you between his legs. He hurls you up and you wind up on his shoulders. The man is already 6'10", 6'11", nearly 7 feet tall. Then he takes you once you're here, and right before he goes to plant you into the mat, he picks you up a couple of inches more and then slams you down to the canvas. Just the impact from that would just knock the wind out of you if you held your breath. And at my wrestling school, D-Von Dudley Academy in Winter Park, I always tell my students when they're taking bumps like that, do not hold your breath, because if you do, it's going to knock the wind out of you. The Last Ride, if I had to put it in a tier, that one gets an S tier. I'm sorry, but it does. Because again, not only visually is it impressive, but physically, it will knock you into another world. I will give The Last Ride an S tier. Even though Taker was great in the ring and took care of me, again, you still can't deny that it would knock the wind out of you. So like I said in the first video, when I was talking about Batista's bomb, although very similar, but yet different, I'm going to say The Last Ride was a lot more effective on me where it hurt than the Batista bomb. Undertaker just had a way of putting you through that mat without killing you, but yet you felt it and you knew he was there. Dave, on the other hand, Dave was smooth, and it kind of helped that he went down with you. So again, which move do I think is more effective if I'm comparing the two? It would have to be The Last Ride, The Undertaker. There have been many times when I came back to the WWE that Cesaro did his swing. And I'll be honest with you, when I saw people doing it on TV, I thought it was easy. Not a big deal. It's nothing. So when Cesaro asked me, he's like, do you mind taking it? I go, no, not at all. I'll take it. It's cool. He was like, all right, D-Von. He was like, but here's what I want you to do. He's like, I want you to breathe. Try to breathe in as much as you possibly can and try to sit up if you can. And I was like, Cesaro, it can't be that hard. Trust me.
Here it comes. Here's the Cesaro swing.
When you're blown sky high, in other words, when you're tired and filled with exhaustion, and he starts swirling you around, let's just say I was glad I didn't eat before the match. I got so sick. It was like being at a bad ride at Coney Island. Cesaro told me at the end, he goes, everybody has that feeling when they take that. I was like, I wish you would have told me that beforehand. The man did it 14 times swinging me. And I remember the first 4, I went, oh my God, we got more to go. By the time we got to 10, I was like, he's really going to go to 14. And he did. He swung me around 14 times. Cesaro was a freak of nature. I mean, the strength that he had was unreal. Love him. So glad he's doing well in other organizations. But again, the swing, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're eating, don't get that move put on you. Because that's the last thing you want to do. Because I guarantee you, you will see your lunch and whatever you just ate come up. I'm going to put this particular move in the S tier. Again, it's like being on a bad ride in Coney Island. Have you ever been on a bad roller coaster ride or a swing ride? And when you get off that ride, you're ready to throw up, pass out? That's what it's like being in the Cesaro swing. It's not for the weak at heart. This last one we're going to talk about will be The Rock, the People's Elbow. Now, I remember hearing stories about Stone Cold Steve Austin when The Rock first approached him with the idea of doing the People's Elbow. And Steve says, I ain't laying down for that bullshit. What the hell? Blah, blah, blah. And now all of a sudden, the People's Elbow has become synonymous with pro wrestling. I've taken that a couple of times, and I've done my herky-jerky sell, the sell that people, like, except for Vince McMahon. He hated the way I sold when I sold like that. But the fans loved it, which is why I did it. I remember I tried to give every bit I could to the People's Elbow because it was so over back in the Attitude Era. But I will say the People's Elbow did the job, and it did the job correctly, where The Rock has won many of matches with the People's Elbow and earned a lot of respect from a lot of the boys in the back when they got hit with it. Although it might not have been visually effective or look painful in a sense where it could take you out, I'm going to have to give that the C tier. Again, just because visually it's not that effective, and I will say that it might have won him more matches and made him more successful, but again, that was all The Rock, not the finish. So again, I'm going to have to rate that a C tier. All right, everybody, that concludes our video for today. Thank you for coming on and checking us out. And again, you might not have agreed with the tiers that I put them in. And if that's the case, then let me know. Leave the comments below. Let me know what you thought. Give me your rendition of what each and every one of those ones would have been in your book. Not to mention, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel and get the word out there. So, oh my brother, testify. Take care, guys.